Hey, what's up, Awesome Sheep Guitars? Your friendly neighborhood Ma Danielle here to talk to you about one of my instruments. This is not something that I necessarily would consider cheap, but it is the cheapest Martin that you can get that is made in America. It's the 0015 SM is the one that I have here. So it's all mahogany, the top two, except the fingerboard is rosewood, but the neck is mahogany and the body. And it's got this awesome slotted headstock, which I think looks really classic. I started on classical guitar, so this is kind of familiar to me. And it has inlays, but they're real tiny and they're not very noticeable. It's got the double on the here and here. But that's it. It's real simple and plain, and I like that. Sounds great. I spent some money and I put one of these Fishman Aura systems in there, which was like a third of the price of the guitar. You can get these used for like $1,300 or so, somewhere in there. But yeah, it's an American-made Martin in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. And let me play it a little for you. I've got it tuned way down in baritone range right now. It's down 2 whole steps. So that's a C instead of an E. Why is that making so much noise? Let's try this again. It's a beautiful sounding instrument. I have wanted a nice Martin for a long time, and my grandfather actually was a mechanical engineer, and he did some work for Martin the company in the 60s at their factory because he lived in Philadelphia and they were in Nazareth. And after the work was done, they offered him any guitar he wanted, and he just said, "I don't play guitar. But I like opera. What do you recommend?" And they're like, "Well, we make one nylon string guitar. It's like a classical style guitar that might be more up your alley." So they gave him that one. It was an N20 was the model name, and Brazilian rosewood back and sides, and it's a great instrument. It's the same model that Willie Nelson has, his Trigger guitar, the exact same model. So he had that for many years, but he never played. It just sat in his case for like 50 years until he died, and my parents have it now. But anyway, it's not, it's a nylon string. It's not the same as like a steel string acoustic. So I've always wanted something like this because I've always liked that guitar, but it wasn't the one for me. And I've had some Taylors, and I've had some boutique instruments and some other stuff, and it took me a long time to track down exactly what I wanted, but when I picked this one up the first time, I was like, this is it. This is the one. It's nice small body, which I really like. It's got a real dark sound. I mean, it's a mahogany small body Martin. And like I said, I put a pickup in it. It's got the satin finish, which is like the cheaper finish, but I actually kind of like it on mahogany. Like if I had a big dread, I can understand wanting it to be glossy, but on this guitar, this really works. This satin finish, it's cheaper, it's lighter. It also lets the wood breathe a lot more and resonate more, so you get actually better tone at the expense of lifespan of the instrument because, it gets scratched more easily and it cracks more easily in different weather extremes because it's just the finish is really thin. But that's always the trade-off when you get a thin finish, is it sounds good, but it doesn't last. Man, this thing is fun. Anyway, so I just wanted to tell you about this and show it to you. Martin 0015 SM is the model name. You can get them well under $1,500 used if you look around. It's the cheapest American-made Martin that you can get, but it's bad. I mean, there's nothing cheap about it. It's a fantastic instrument. This is the one that I picked. I mean, I've owned guitars, acoustic guitars costing 3-4 times what this one was. And this is my favorite, you know. I actually ended up selling, I had an Iris boutique one that I ended up selling, but I kept this one because I love this guitar. It's fantastic. Anyway, so that's what I have to say about it. It's got a 12 fret neck. If you like classical guitars, this feels really familiar. It's got a flat fretboard, wide nut, slotted headstock, and the body shape is just, it's not quite a classical guitar, but it's familiar in how tiny it is and compact, and the dimensions of it feel very classical guitar reminiscent. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about it and show it to you. This is Martin again. 15 is the model, 00015 SM. Yeah, so enjoy, and I hope everybody's having a great night, and take care. Okay, bye.